Hey everyone, it's Froggy. I'm back again with another episode of Will the Wonderful World. So we are back at the soap opera one. And I'm trying to get all the options for this, because I had an X on it previously, so we'll see what we got. Lieutenant King rolled his eyes at me and stood back up by himself. He then got dressed and left the locker room. I froze and stood there like a statue. Did I just do something that I shouldn't have done? No. Or did I forget to do something that I should have done? Oh god, I had no idea which one it was! Oh boy. Was my career over? Okay, so we got that. Okay, so we're just gonna move everything over here. The locker room was filled with steam that was drifting through from the spa. Oh, that and the same awkwardness. We remained silent until we both left the locker room. I was hoping to relax myself, but I felt even more tense now. Okay. We're missing another C, another X and a Z. Whoa. So he reached out. The ground was covered with water. And it was very slippery. Lieutenant King took out a hairband and tied his messy hair together. I noticed two small dot-shaped scars on his left shoulder. It was almost like he had been bitten by a vampire. I suddenly shuddered for no reason. That was so strange. There was nothing extraordinary about the scars. Why did I have such a strong reaction? Could it be... I kept thinking about this on my way home. I continued thinking about it in my bed. I still couldn't figure out the reason until I fell asleep. So, I mean, ask him maybe, you know? That might be good. Alright, let's see. He reached out. I ran over to try and grab him. The ground was covered with water. I accidentally caught a glance of Lieutenant King when I was taking my clothes out of my locker. Wow, his body was really top-notch. It was still wet, and drops of water were streaming down his skin. For any woman in the world, I was sure that Lieutenant Kang's hotness must be off the chart. I didn't know what had gotten into me, but I reached out and grabbed his arm. Lieutenant Kang acted like he had been shocked. He punched back immediately without even looking back. And then I saw that it was me. Oh, then he saw that it was me. His face turned totally steely and green, and his eyes were filled with anger. Never sneak up on me from behind, ever again. My nose felt like it was on fire. I could feel blood coming out of it, but I didn't dare to wipe it off. I had to stand there with one hand pinching my nose and watch as the lieutenant left the locker room. Okay, we're missing Z. Okay. A piece of soap. Appeared on the ground out of nowhere. He reached out. I ran over trying to grab him. I accidentally caught a glance of Lieutenant King when I was taking my clothes out of my locker. Wow. His body was really top-notch, still wet, beats the drops, blah, blah, blah. Blah, blah, blah. I didn't know what had gotten into me. I reached out, grabbed his arm. Oh. Okay. Alright. I'm glad we came back. This is nice. The lieutenant stopped wiping his body, looked back, and noticed me staring at him. Oh my god, everybody's blushing too. He seemed to be asking me with his looks, "What are you doing?" What was I doing? Strangely enough, I had no idea what I was doing either. I couldn't believe the air between us could get even more awkward than earlier in the spa room. This was a complete disaster. I knew I must let go of him immediately before this went even further. But before I could move, Lieutenant Kang reached out with his hand and grabbed my arm. I didn't know you were too. Let me take you to a great place. After we left the station, Lieutenant Kang took me to a bar. I would never have guessed that after that, the tale of us. I would have never guessed after that day that the relationship between Lieutenant Kang and I would turn into something completely unexpected. Oh my god, okay, hold on. Did that give us something new? No? Okay, hold on. Alright, so let's do this one. And then we'll oh no, wait, not this. Start. Okay, history. So Spotty's still missing some stuff as well. Okay. So, a piece of soap appeared out of nowhere and stopped us. Okay. The round feet of the beast happened to step on some soap. The beast suddenly turned to its side like it was drunk. Daddy jumped ahead just in time and the beast missed him. Lucky. But the beast had run into the rails not too far ahead and finally stopped on the grass. Soon a human walked out of the beast. He seemed to be okay and just started yelling while checking his beast's round feet. I looked at the beast. Its body had some words on it, but I couldn't read. But I had seen the sign next to it before. I used to go hunting birdies with Daddy in a place far, far away. It was deep inside the mountains. But on top of the hill, there was a building that smells like drugs. Daddy told me that it was a hospital, and it had the same sign as the one on the beast. I remembered thinking that the hospital looked a little strange. The humans inside didn't look hurt at all to me, but none of them would smile. Some of them would burst into laughter or tears all of a sudden. They looked a little strange. Not like the humans that we met in the city. Humans were so strange. Wait, so Daddy lived in this one? Okay, good to know. So we'll retry, I guess. We're also missing... A. The ground was covered with water. It was very slippery. I heard the sound like schlip. I looked back, he had slipped. I ran over to try and grab him. What? Okay, hold on. The ground was covered with water and it was very slippery. A piece of soap. There you go, that's what I missed. Piece of soap, came out of nowhere. Oh, I was looking at the wrong one, that's why. Okay, so no schlip. The round feet of the beast happened to step on the same soap. The beast suddenly turned to its side like it was drunk. Daddy jumped ahead just in time and the beast missed him lucky. The beast continued to charge ahead like a snake. Since the ground was so slippery, it tilted to one side and slid ahead very fast. It finally stopped after it hit a lamp pole near the crossing. I saw a human kid fly out from the front of the beast and smash into the ground. He was lying there, not moving at all. Oh no! The kid had yellow hair. It reminded me of a few foreign humans who lived nearby. But he was too far away, I couldn't see his face. I could only see the blood spread out beneath him. More and more people started to gather around. Daddy shook off the rain on him and quietly said to me, "Spotty, if I had been hit, the humans wouldn't care at all." I mumbled. I was still in shock. Daddy led me away from the accident and continued to the street. Huh. Okay. Alright. Alright, so we're back with Boy in the baseball cap. We're missing some stuff for these. So, let's retry this. I open the door. was nothing inside. Zuko wasn't in the arsenal, nor was he in the apartment. Somewhere on the street I heard what sounded like an explosion. I ran downstairs and heard people screaming and crying in agony. There were injured people everywhere I looked. The source of all of the suffering was a small square that had just been wiped out. The food carts that sold beef balls were gone. A dark radial scorch mark was left in the concrete in the middle of the square. But in the center of the darkness, there was nothing. There was nothing left. Okay. I entered the passcode. Didn't notice there was someone behind me. I entered the passcode. There was nothing inside. The door didn't open even though I had entered the passcode. The only explanation was that Zuko had locked the door from the inside. He must still be in there. Why would he do that? I screamed his name at the door. He yelled from inside. "It's a bomb! I'll get rid of it! Run!" However, there wasn't enough time. An enormous force blew the door off of its hinges, twisted it, and tore it into a million burning pieces that were flying towards me. Zuko was flying in the air along with all of the debris. His neck was bent at an inconceivable angle due to the explosion. When I finally woke up in the ICU, I realized that my left arm and both of my legs were gone. I knew that I probably didn't have much time left, yet the doctors still bluntly told me the other piece of news. The man that had been found at the scene with me was already dead when the ambulance arrived. Strangely enough, when the doctor said, "I'm sorry for your loss," I wasn't really feeling too much loss. What's this one? I opened the door, didn't notice someone behind me. Passcode. There's nothing inside. Whoops. Okay. So I entered the passcode, there was nothing inside. I entered the passcode, I didn't notice that someone was behind me. I opened the door, there was nothing inside. Someone grabbed my neck from behind and choked me. I raised my left hand and stabbed my finger towards the throat of my attacker. He did a backflip and got away from me, landing precisely on the window ledge. His lowered baseball cap covered most of his face, so I could only tell that he was a slim-fit young man. "You are indeed as good as they say." "Too bad I have to kill you today." The weird-sounding man wielded 2 knives and lunged at me. I picked up a fruit knife from the table and tried to block him. We were quite even at first. Then, somewhere on the street, I heard what sounded like an explosion. My eyes involuntarily drifted to the window. Suddenly I had a bad feeling. My split-second distraction had given my opponent a chance. He stabbed his 2 knives into the artery in my neck, clean and swift. Had my end finally arrived? Oh! Before I could enter the passcode, I heard clear footsteps coming in my direction. I had no time to check who was coming, so I snuck back to my seat. I took another peek at the mirror and Officer Ji-yeon's desk and happened to catch Lieutenant Kim's eyes looking right back at me. I immediately looked away in a panic, lowered my head, and continued writing the non-existent report. Lieutenant Kim walked past me and into the bathroom. Okay. Okay, so I entered the passcode. Didn't notice someone was behind me. Okay, so didn't notice that there was someone behind me. There was nothing inside. I opened the door, I entered the passcode. Okay, I got that one, and then there was nothing inside. I opened the door, I entered the passcode. Get away from there! There's a bomb! Zuko screamed and ran towards me. He reached his hand out, trying to pull me away from the door that I had just opened. But I caught a glimpse of a box on the floor of the empty arsenal. And then, boom. The box morphed into an engulfing flame that swallowed me without the door in its way. Alright. And then we're still missing one for Chang Jong-min. Okay, here we go. So S I've got, and then we've got the X's. I opened the door, there was nothing inside. I entered the passcode, didn't notice there was someone behind me, opened the door. Open the door, enter the passcode. Nothing. I opened the door, I entered the passcode. I opened the door, I entered the passcode. I think I did that one already. I entered the passcode. Didn't notice there was someone behind me. I entered the passcode. I opened the door. That's a rank S. Wow. I'm not sure, but I'm gonna go ahead and end this episode here for today. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you want to see more videos from me, then don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Thanks for watching.